We have a special speaker, not special ed. Special meaning, not normal, and not too unnormal, but slightly unnormal. What's the point of normal? And this young man is actually leaving tomorrow morning to go to school, to go to college.
Me?
Kylie's like, my brother's leaving. Yay! Are you taking over his room? No. Oh, gotta clean it. It's gross. So anyway, Sean is leaving, and he's actually going to school to become a minister, which is awesome, totally awesome. And this young man, for whatever reason, at a young age, he's only 18, knows what he's supposed to do. God's already told him what he's going to be and where he's going to go. I mean, not everything, but that's pretty sweet. That's something that not a lot of people get at 18 years old. So I believe that he's got a message tonight that's what we call a word in season. It's a word for all of us for today, and I think it's going to be amazing. So let's welcome Sean up here. Did you turn your mic on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you on mute or off
I
mute?
don't know. Am I? Am I on? Yeah, cool.
He's on.
Cool.
All right, brother.
Can I sit in a chair tonight, guys? Is that okay?
I've got a stool over here, I think.
I'm going to steal this one.
Okay.
I actually want a show tune.
Show tune? How do I do that? Oh, that's a little cup of water. Where do I put that? It's like bottled water.
It's because you're not a full minister yet. You get
Oh.
the big bottles of water.
Oh, okay. I got to catch my breath after that. That was good stuff.
Yeah, was that good?
Yes. It was very good. All right, so this week's been kind of crazy for me. I've been going through like a lot of crazy stuff, like getting ready for college. I've been really nervous about a lot. And for some reason, I was talking to Pastor Steve during the week, and I didn't really want to do this at all. And what I actually told him was that I needed to hear something from him, and that's not right. I needed to hear something from God. And the next few days, I went and spent a lot of time going after God, trying to get closer to Him and get rid of these feelings I've been having. And they're gone now, so I'm happy. But the title of this message tonight is The Sounds in Your World. And about a month ago, most of us went to Invasion. Who all went? Awesome.
Party over here.
You were working?
I said,
Oh, all right. How are you guys doing tonight? Cool. What did you do? Nice.
fun for that. It proves you.
But anyways, Josh Barkley was the preacher there. He started that about 19 years ago. Is that right? And that's kind of been a big part of his life, and it's an awesome thing to go to. I would suggest every year it happens, I suggest everybody go to it because I got so much out of it, and I'm going to share some of the stuff I got out of it with stuff that I got during this week from God. But when I went to the young adult sessions there were a lot of speakers, and one of the main things that I learned was that leaders, like everybody sees what they do, and some kids begin to, like if you're a leader, some kids want to be like you because obviously you're a leader, but when I graduated high school, I started to realize that as you get older, you have to pay more attention or closer attention to the things you do because of this. You don't want people to, you don't want the world to start going crazy because you're just not a very good person. You don't want that. But for example, back when I was in 6th grade, I was the oldest guy in the school. I went to a really small Catholic school. It was St. Mary's in Alma, and I was the only guy in 5th and 6th grade, and the oldest guy in the school. There were no guy teachers or anything. So everybody, all the younger kids kind of looked up to me, and they watched everything I did. Like if, I don't know why, but for some reason all the little girls, they wanted to chase me during like recess and stuff, and that it was really awkward. But it's funny. But like as it kept happening every day, all the guys are in 4th grade and 3rd grade, they started wanting to have the same thing for some reason. I mean, like, and then where I sat at lunch table, all the other guys wanted to sit there and talk to me and stuff, and they watched everything I did pretty much, and I really had to pay close attention to everything I did. And at age 12, it's kind of difficult sometimes, but thankfully back then I was a decent kid. I was a lector, which is like somebody who reads the word during Mass, as it was called, and I was an altar server, who was pretty much like the helper, like servant, I guess, I don't know, for the priest there. And what me doing those things did was it brought the younger people to want to do the same things, because I was the older guy in the school, and so they wanted to do the same thing. So and then when I started to come here and got older and became a youth leader this year, I feel like some people started to do like some of the same things as me. And despite all my goofiness, obviously, like I don't know. I hope nobody does some of the same things as me. Like talk like goofiness stuff. But I'm going into college tomorrow, and I'm gonna miss all you guys. But some of the music that we listen to, some of you guys might listen to it. Like if I listen to something, you guys might listen to it because you hear me listening to it if you're like hanging out at my house. Like let's say Steven comes hang out at my house and I'm listening to music, he's gonna start wanting to listen to the same stuff. Good thing I listen to So Save Me, which is, who's the guy? Is that the guy on the worship team at Nick? It's Nick? All right. I keep getting Nick and Daniel Groves mixed up. And then like if there's certain movies that I watch at my house and some of you guys are there, you might want to watch the same movie sometime again. So we kind of have to pay attention to these things as you get older, because you don't want everybody else to start watching these things, because what it does is it influences some of the things you do in your life, and some of the things that you may do, the devil is trying to get you to do it, and you don't want to. But anyways, God created everything in our lives by speaking it. And while I was at Invasion, I bought this CD of one of Josh Barclay's messages from, I think, the year before. And it really hit me that everything and all the sounds that are in our world are very important. And right after I listened to the CD, the day after I got it, I felt that I wanted to share this with you. And it's really crazy because this morning Pastor Rick preached about the same stuff. And Jamie said that she was reading about the same stuff this week. So that's really cool stuff. And God created everything in this world by speaking it. Like, does everybody who has their Bible tonight? Cool. All right, I've got mine. Hold them up. Cool. But Genesis chapter 1, turn to that. But verse 3 says, Then God said, Let there be light, and there was light. And God saw that the light was good. Then he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness night. And evening passed, and morning came, marking the first day. Then God said, Let there be a space between the waters, to separate the waters of the heavens from the waters of the earth. And that is what happened. God made this space to separate the waters of the earth from the waters of the heavens. God called the space sky, and evening past the morning came, marking the second day. And when God said, Let there be light, there was light. And then when he said, Let there be a firmament in the midst of waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters, and that's what happened. What God spoke had come to be. Everything he said happened. What if everything we said in our lives every day happened? Can you guys imagine how that would be? What we say is very important. I don't know why everybody laughed at that. The things we say usually come from the music we listen to, or the movies we watch, or even the people we hang out with every day. But really, it's not exactly what is in the movies. It's what we think about while watching them and after. And same with music. It's what happens, like what you think about and how you react about it. But you see that God created Lucifer for music. And Lucifer is like the same person as the devil and Satan and stuff. And he was designed with these musical instruments in his body to make music. But then when Lucifer turned, he started to think that he was better than God. And then when God realized that, he kicked him out of heaven. And he started like this huge rebellion against God and wanted to be better than him and tried to ruin everybody's lives and make all these crazy like music things and started like these movies and all that. And he used his ability against God. And he wanted all his people to listen to his music and not worship God at all. He wanted people to hate God, pretty much. And pretty much if you go to church and worship God, but then go home and listen to secular music and go watch all these movies, then Satan's going to be happy about that. But if you go to church and worship God and then go home and still have that fire lit in your heart, Satan's going to be shaking in his pants because he's going to be coming up with stuff to do. But he's not going to be able to because that fire won't be able to go out if you just keep it and keep acting upon these things that is done at church. And I'm done letting this stuff happen to me because the past of my life has been with crazy things happening, and I'm done with it. And I hope you guys all are too. But the music we listen to, and I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself a lot, but that's because it's very important. But Lucifer's music was made to harm us. Think about the music you listen to daily. Is it getting you closer to God every day, or is it pulling you away? Worldly music cannot be looked at as something harmless. Whatever you're listening to, good or bad, it is influencing you. And then this is just something that Pastor Steve shared with me today, and it says that the prophet Isaiah warns about where the music of the Babylonians led them. And turn your Bibles to Isaiah 14:11. Is everybody there? Yeah. When you're there, say you love the word.
Hey, what was that?
Isaiah 14:11.
Isaiah what?
14:11. Thanks. Isaiah. All right, but it says, "This is where your pomp and fine music led you, Babylon, to your underworld private chambers, a king-size mattress of maggots for repose and a guilt of crawling worms for warmth." So this music brought them discomfort because they had a bed of maggots instead of like an actual mattress. They were sleeping on maggots. You do not want that. Exactly. That's just why I found it. That's gross. This music can bring gross things into your life.
Yeah,
Why?
Lady Gag.
Yeah, I can get into that. Get into Lady Gag me. But one of the things that Josh Barkley said was to put these things like the music that you're about to listen to and the movies you're about to watch to the test. And you might be asking, what is the test? You are asking God if He is okay with it. Ask what He thinks about it, and He will tell you, and then listen to what He says. Because if you listen to something and do it, your life will be changed. But if you're going to do something that you know is right but don't do it, it is a sin. James 4:17 says, "Therefore, to him who knows to do good and does not do it, to him it is sin." And if you know that reading your Bible is right, but you don't do it, it is what? And if you know to go to church and you don't do it, it is what? All right, but then if you know to do or that you shouldn't do something and then you do it, it is what? Yes, very good.
Dang, he's on the ball.
But what we do in our lives is very important, people. I mean, it's always good to have fun, but you want to be able to have fun by doing things that God is so happy about. But when I was younger, I did a lot of stuff that I wasn't happy about, and it wasn't good. And the result of this was I wasn't a very happy person because I was doing bad things, and it didn't make me happy. I spent the night not being able to sleep, thinking about these things, and then, but when I started to come here and stopped doing this stuff, I'm so much happier now, Yes, Goofy is always good. But these things that you're doing, like music listen to, all these influences that Satan has on you, it really affects how happy you are every day. And now that I've gotten away from these things, I'm so much happier. I don't spend nights trying to get to sleep, trying to forget about these things. They're all just gone. And I want to see you guys extremely happy all the time too. But really, I don't want to see you guys just happy all the time. I want to see you guys changing the world every day and getting these 1902 people here. And you guys can do that by all your special talents that you have. Every one of you has special talents. You have special talent. Pastor Steve has his special talent. Worship team has their special talent. You have your own special talent. You both have your own special talent. Everybody has their own special talent. You just have to realize it and go use it. And also, Cole, come up here. All right, I'm going to show you something. If it's sometimes the easiest thing to do is just say hi to somebody and say how you're doing. And nobody's gonna beat you up. There's nothing to be afraid of. Just saying hi to a random person.
If I deck you, will that like infringe on your message?
But sometimes the simplest thing to do is if you see somebody who looks alone and just say, hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. Good.
Yeah, see, they're not going to hurt you. Okay, you can go sit back down. Nobody's going to hurt you for being respectful to them.
Oh, that.
Gotcha. Yes, but sometimes the simplest things can change somebody's day, and that's really big sometimes for people's lives. But summarizing this, number one is the words we say are very important. What God spoke came to be. And what if the things we spoke came to be? Just think about that. Think about some of the things you have said. Would you actually want that to come true in your life? Exactly. But point two that I have, the music listened to is very important. What we say can sometimes come from music listened to. So, like if you're listening to music with swearing in it and stuff, you might end up being a person that swears a lot. But I actually Jonathan actually shared this with me, and he said that some people listen to music because they like the beat of it, but really, if it's not, like sometimes like after a while, the words start to like get into your head and you start acting upon it, and that stuff is not good. Like it's real stuff. And pretty much the evil one wants to seduce you through music and ruin your life. Also, pay attention to the kind of movies you watch. It's the same with music. It can affect what you say and do every day. And if you watch movies with a ton of swearing in them, obviously, like with music, you might end up being a person that swears a lot. And if you watch movies with a ton of inappropriate stuff, you might start to do a ton of inappropriate things that are going to ruin your life and lead to like depression. And that's not something that you need. And then point four is watch who you hang out with every day, because some of the people you hang out with, I mean, what you can do with them is invite them here and try to like share the word of God with them. But that's about all you can do. You don't need to go hang out with them on weekends and stuff. Just invite them here and keep trying to get them to come here until they do. Don't give up on it. But point five is if you don't like your world and aren't happy in it, to change these things. Change all you're doing and put these things to the test of asking God if He is okay with it, and just watch your life change. And Jonathan and the worship team, he has come back up here.
Yeah, I love you, John. You the man. Yeah. Turn the mic up.
You can have it back. All right, tonight I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to lay these things down in your life that the devil is getting at you with, and you just get to lay these influences down at the altar here, because we don't need them at all. They're keeping us from happiness and God's love. I know that every one of you may have something in your life, including Pastor Steve and me, and even Pastor Jonathan may have something. And so I'm asking you all to come forward and lay these things down and get rid of them, because we don't need them. Let's scare the devil in this place tonight, and let's get him joining with all his people trying to figure out ways to stop us from being happy and loving God. And he's not going to be able to stop us, though. And you guys want to know why? Because our God is greater than any person and anything. He has more power than anyone, and with him, nothing can stop us. All right. Come up here and get rid of these things.